Were you dealing with an injury going into the fight?
Yeah, but I can't use that for an excuse, because if I did, I wouldn't be in here.
The broadcast team was debating what you...
That one sentence, sharp, cold, and cutting, silenced an entire press conference. And it came straight from the mouth of the most feared man in boxing history, Mike Tyson. Jake Paul, the loudmouth YouTuber turned boxer, might have finally picked a fight that ends his career, not with a bang, but with a crushing blow that reminds the world who really rules the ring. Let's rewind for a second. For the past few years, Jake Paul has built his name on a shaky foundation, fighting retired MMA fighters, YouTubers, and athletes with zero boxing pedigree. He's been puffing his chest out, trash-talking legends, and branding himself the future of boxing. But the truth, he's never fought a real seasoned boxer, let alone a legend like Iron Mike Tyson, now 58. Maybe older, but age hasn't dulled his fists. The baddest man on the planet still hits with the kind of power that made grown men tremble in their boots. And after months of silence, Tyson has finally broken that silence, and it's nothing short of terrifying for Jake Paul. At a press conference in Arlington, Texas, in front of flashing cameras and a stunned audience, Tyson tore into Jake like a lion mauling prey. He didn't yell, he didn't rant. He spoke with the calm fury of a man who doesn't need to prove anything, but is ready to destroy someone who desperately does. Jake looked shaken, pale, stiff, and suddenly very unsure of the circus he's built around himself. Let's be real. For Jake, boxing has always been more of a brand than a battle, a spectacle. But Tyson is war. Mike Tyson's boxing career is legendary. The youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 20, 44 knockouts and 58 fights. A name that still echoes in the minds of boxing purists as the embodiment of ferocity. And now, he's lacing up his gloves for one more fight. A fight not just for victory, but to humble the loudest voice in the boxing world. Jake Paul's been doing what he does best, running his mouth. He's posted memes, mocked Tyson's age, even used AI to distort Tyson's face in his thumbnails, all in the name of hype. But hype can't protect you from a left hook. And Tyson, he didn't respond, not at first. He waited, observed, until the moment was right, and then he pounced. At the press conference, Tyson dropped bombshell after bombshell. He accused Jake of fixing his past fights and said, flat out, this isn't an exhibition, this is war. And it was chilling. Think about this. Tyson's coach Rafael Cordero says he's training like it's the 90s again. 5 a.m. runs, thousands of sit-ups, brutal sparring, not with has-beens, but with young, hungry professionals. Cordero said, I've trained world champions, but Tyson's power? It's unnatural. He hits like a truck. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's been training with BJ Flores, using high-tech gear, virtual analytics, and media gimmicks. It looks flashy on Instagram, but in the ring, it's fists that do the talking, not filters. And that's what scares people. Mike Tyson isn't someone you provoke. Joe Rogan once said that Tyson, the one who beat Trevor Burbick, the one who knocked out Larry Holmes, that Tyson wasn't human, he was a force of nature. That's the Tyson Jake is about to face. Let's put it in perspective. Jake Paul's biggest wins: Nate Robinson, a basketball player; Ben Askren, a wrestler with zero boxing technique; Tyron Woodley past his prime. And let's not forget his first fights were against fellow YouTubers. Impressive. For entertainment, maybe, but in the world of real boxing, it's barely amateur hour. Tyson sees it. The boxing community sees it. Even legends like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield have warned Jake, you're not ready for this. But Jake, he's doubling down. Mike Tyson is old news. I'm the future of boxing, he claimed in a recent video. Really? That's like a TikTok magician calling out Houdini. Jake may have millions of followers, but Tyson has millions of scars earned in blood, sweat, and bone-breaking wars. The kind of experience that turns men into monsters inside the ropes. This fight isn't just about power. It's about pride, legacy, and truth. Tyson's coming to prove a point that boxing isn't a game, and its greats can't be mocked without consequence. And let's talk about Jake's strategy. It's simple. Poke the bear, get inside Tyson's head, throw him off. The problem? That bear happens to be Mike Tyson. You don't poke Mike Tyson, you don't even look at him the wrong way. Unless you want your lights turned off. Tyson thrives on pressure. He's not just immune to trash talk. He feeds off it. It fuels him. It sharpens him. And Jake, in all his youthful arrogance, has given Tyson the biggest fuel tank he's ever had. Even while battling a recent ulcer flare-up, Tyson's focus hasn't wavered. The fight may be postponed, but the war, it's still on. Tyson said, I already gave him his warning. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does. Let that sink in. Jake's digital taunts won't help him when the bell rings. His viral edits, memes, and cocky interviews can't shield him from an uppercut that feels like a freight train. Tyson's fists tell stories. Stories of pain, of fear, of dominance. In his prime, he didn't just beat opponents, he broke them. Larry Holmes, Frank Bruno, Trevor Burbick, one by one, legends crumbled under his power. Even now, at 58, he's still got that look in his eyes. That cold stare, the kind that says, "I'm not here to entertain, I'm here to end this." Meanwhile, Jake continues to paint himself as a disruptor, but disruption without substance is just noise. And Mike Tyson is the silence that follows when noise meets reality. The real question is, can Jake Paul survive a single round? Even fan polls aren't optimistic. Over 70% believe Tyson will win. Odds makers have him as the favorite, and the boxing world? They're not just rooting for Tyson, they're praying he delivers justice. Because for many, Jake represents what's wrong with modern boxing: clout over craft, spectacle over skill. And Tyson, he represents what it used to be: raw, real, and ruthless. So how did Jake get here? Simple. He's a master of manipulation, selecting opponents carefully, building a record without ever facing a true threat. It's smart if you want fame, but foolish if you want respect. Each of Jake's past fights was a media event, not a boxing test. And now, standing before the ultimate test, Jake seems woefully unprepared. This isn't YouTube. This isn't content. This is Mike Tyson, a man who once said, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." Jake's about to find out exactly what that means. So what's your take? Will Jake Paul prove us all wrong? Or is he just another name on Tyson's long list of victims? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this isn't just a fight, this is a reckoning.